Feels almost like Thailand. So I thought I would show you a recipe that is perfect for this weather. I'm making mango coconut jelly cubes. And in Thai, that is wun ma muang. Now, wun is agar agar, which is what we're going to use to set our jelly. And ma muang is mango. It's the perfect summer dessert. It's delicious, it's fresh, it's fruity, and it's super, super easy to make. Let's get started. So let's first make the mango base. Okay, so I am using this kind of mango. You can use whatever mango you have. Even frozen will work really well for this. The only condition is that it has to be ripe and sweet. Okay, otherwise it just won't taste very good. I also like mangoes that are not very fibrous. So this one is great. Make sure you peel the skin far enough, because if you peel the skin too thin, you'll taste a little bit of bitterness sometimes. And I'm just gonna blend this out. In that goes. And to help it blend, I'm gonna add some orange juice. The acidity and the citrusy quality will accent and brighten up the sweetness of the mango as well. It's my own little trick. Off it goes. Now you want to make sure this is very fine. No lumps, no chunks, no nothing, okay? Oh, that smells so good. Let's talk about wun or agar agar. Now, agar agar, I don't know why it's a double word, but that's just the way it is. You can think of it kind of like a gelatin. It sets liquid. However, unlike gelatin, this is plant-based. So if you've got vegetarian friends coming over and they don't eat gelatin, you can definitely feed them this. It comes in a packet like this. Sometimes the packet doesn't look like this. It's okay. You can use whatever brand you want. It really doesn't matter. They're all the same. The most important thing about this is you want to add it when the water is cold. Give it a stir and then bring it to a boil. If you add this after the water has already boiled, it'll clump up really quickly and then it'll be impossible to get it all separated. Now you want to bring it to a full boil, because that's when they're going to all dissolve. And keep stirring it every once in a while, because if you don't, they'll settle to the bottom and then you feel this gel layer forming at the bottom of your pot. All right, so it's come to a full boil. And so the way to test to see whether it has completely dissolved is to take a little spoon or a big spoon and pour it off. And if you don't see tiny little grains sort of clinging onto the spoon, then you are good to go. Turn the heat back on. So now I'm gonna add some sugar. Now, you may need more or less sugar than me. That completely depends on the sweetness of your mango and your orange juice. So at the end, you're gonna taste and adjust from there. Bring it back to a boil one more time. Make sure that the sugar is completely dissolved, and then go in with the mango base before this boils over and whisk it to break up the little lumps. I tried using a wooden spoon and the little lumps just keep swimming around the pot. It drove me crazy. And that's it. That is the base of the mango jelly. How easy is that? Because we're working with natural ingredients. It's so important that you taste this. Ooh, and that's just good on its own already. Now at this point, you can add more sugar if you think it's not sweet enough, but you can also add a little more acid. If this is too one-dimensionally sweet, it won't be very refreshing. And if your mango is really sweet but not a lot of sour, add a little more lime juice. And I'm just gonna do a quick squeeze, not too much, because I've got some orange juice in there and it just needs a little lift. So I've got a square pan here. Now you can do this in individual little shot glasses. You can do this in animal mold. You can do what, just, like Jell-O. You can put it in whatever mold you like. Okay, and I'm just gonna pour this in. Bubbles, you wanna get rid of these bubbles. So if your mixture is starting to cool and it's starting to thicken, the bubbles will become really hard to pop, so you can just spoon them out altogether. Okay, that's good enough. I am going to add more mango goodness. So I've got some mango flesh here. You don't have to add mango. I've actually done this with lychee. Oh my god, that was really good as well. Now, wun sets at room temperature. It's so awesome. You don't have to wait for hours like Jell-O for it to set. However, it also means that you have to work quite quickly, especially if you are doing small ones, because it will solidify quick. Now, if it solidifies on you and you need to remelt it, you need to bring it to a boil again. Final little trick. I like to sometimes add mint leaves to this just to add, a little freshness. It's kind of like mojito. Ooh, on the subject of mojito, if you want to add some alcohol, you certainly can. It'll be like the vegan jello shot. You can certainly stop here and serve it just as it is, mango and mint, super delicious and refreshing. But sometimes I like to add a layer of coconut jelly to it because it adds a beautiful color contrast. It also adds a little bit of a creaminess. It adds an air of tropical, memory to it. I don't know, coconut and mango goes really, really well together. All right, let's get that layer done. So it's the same thing all over again, except with coconut milk instead of mango puree. Got some cold water. Give it a stir. Come to a boil. Some sugar, a little bit of salt. Go in with some coconut milk. So the mango layer is mostly set, and by mostly set, I meant the surface. You shake it and it's not moving, good to go. Make sure you keep your coconut layer warm because if it sits and you forget about it, you forget about everything, this is going to be solidified and then you have to heat it back up to melt it down again. You want to be gentle, don't just pour everything down. I like to pour it over a spoon, and if you see the tiny little pieces, that's just the thin pieces that has set, around the side of the pot or on the skin on the surface. Don't worry about it, that really won't show at all. Now this will set very, very quickly because this is a thin layer, but don't be tempted to eat it. Let it cool down because trust me, wooden is not good at room temperature, okay? It has to be cold. So control yourself for the next few hours while this chills.